Do you see anything? What can you tell me? What do you see around you?
This feels so different. It's like they're giving me options of what I would like to see first. So it's sort of funny.
Mm-hmm.
But the first place I decided was the Red Rock Canyon with the whale.
All right, tell me more about it.
I go to this place for training. It's part of my mission. And I can communicate with others that are light workers. And I can communicate with the animals that choose to go there. There's so much we could say about this place. It is, for simple terms, a training ground. It is beyond this 3D reality. It is easier to train in this place because there are less limitations. There are many that are going to this canyon to get trained. There is also training that happens on crafts. Many go to crafts while they sleep for training as well. This one is asking, what would be the difference to go one place or another? We would say it is just with the training that you are focusing on. You will be sent to where you need to go, depending on what you need to learn. If you need star training, you will go to a craft because there are so many stars you can learn from and get hands-on experience.
Okay.
If you would like to work with portals, sometimes that's easier in a real location like this canyon because portals and crafts there's some challenges there. So it's much more simple for people to learn about the portals from these places in dream states and other dimensional levels. We would like to say that so many of you are experiencing so many different parts of yourself on missions in these other dimensional levels. It is just that your 3D reality seems concrete, but it is not. It is the illusion. Many are realizing this now. There is so much more to come. You will understand all of your dimensional aspects of yourself, and they will unite as one, and you will be able to seamlessly understand where all of your consciousness is. Because when you choose to come here onto Earth, your consciousness does not fit, and so you must have aspects of yourself that reside in your soul origin. So you may have soul origin aspects from Arcturus. With the Arcturians, you may have soul aspects from Sirius B. You may have soul aspects from Lyra. The list goes on, and all of those aspects come together to form your soul essence. But at the same time, you can be existing on many different dimensional levels, and you can also exist anywhere that your soul aspects are from. She is merging with the whale, and the whale is taking her to Sirius B now,
Mm-hmm.
and she's there. This feels familiar. It is beautiful.
What can you describe in detail, please?
So much water, so much underwater civilizations, so much. There's a word we would like to use. We cannot find this word.
Okay.
Symbiotic. There's so many symbiotic relationships between the animals under the water and
Mm-hmm.
the beings that live here. There is so much of a connection to source. It is effortless and seamless with everyone who lives here, and so harmony and unity are normal.
Okay. And
The
so what is...
form
Go ahead.
the forms of the whales and the dolphins and the beings here, they transmit love and intelligence, but they are allowed to take infinite form similar to the angelic realm, or other beings can do this as well, to travel across the universes
Mm-hmm.
and galaxies at an instant based on their intent. So if they'd like to help in some way, guide someone, give them downloads or transmissions, they can very easily do this.
How is the download transmission done? Or what is the easiest way to do that?
Hmm. There are many different transmissions that can happen. Maybe we'll start with a DNA download, or we'll call it an activation. It is when there is a frequency, a light frequency that is transmitted. And it allows dormant pieces of the DNA to be activated. There may not be a conscious remembrance of what has happened with this activation, but it will remain dormant, we will say, until it is ready for the being or the human to experience it.
Mm-hmm.
When they are fully ready, those pieces, when you look at it, it would look like illuminated pieces of the helix. And so those are very easily activated when there is a specific frequency given across. We have to be careful with what we say.
Why
There's a,
is it? Mm-hmm.
well, for everything that is happening here, we do not want to spoil any of the surprises. So,
Surprise is good?
good surprises, yes.
Mm-hmm.
It is the reason that many light workers and soul aspects of varied beings across the universes have chosen to come here at this time to experience this. It's a grand event,
Mm-hmm.
and we wouldn't want to spoil any of that or allow this to You get our point.
Yes. Is it something that we can look forward to?
Yes, very much so. Yes.
Happening
And
soon?
what was that?
Happening soon?
Hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yes, we will say yes. We would like to share more about activations.
Okay. Go on.
So, DNA activations are one kind of activation. There is another that is, how do we say this? Imagine, if you will,
Yes.
an orb of very, very charged energy. And the orb of energy is so supercharged that it almost looks like a liquid mercury of sorts.
Mm-hmm.
It takes a long time to get this energy into this form. And the reason for that is the energy past a certain threshold becomes healing. And it is like a activation, healing. If we want to be funny, we would use the word bomb.
Oh, okay.
But really, it is meant to provide incredible shifting, incredible change in a good way.
Mm-hmm.
Many of the waves of energy that are hitting the earth right now are this supercharged energy. This one that is speaking was involved with the new core, the new supercharged core of the earth, which also looks like this. These are just smaller fragments or pieces of this energy. It is direct from source. Everyone gives to this energy, and the energy gives back. It is a
Mm-hmm.
fluid cycle, you could say. It's a toroidal field around the earth that all of the living beings on the earth have access to. This one is asking if it's like this on other planets. It does vary depending on where you are. So we'd like to go back to the whale.
Okay, go ahead.
Whales and dolphins. There are so many other species that have decided not to show themselves on Earth, that live on Sirius B, that are equally as magical and beautiful and intelligent, providing for their own pods and their own families in the water, living with so much joy and freedom. And the people, the beings that live on Sirius B, they are very crystalline in nature.
Mm-hmm.
They look like they are glowing and luminescent, and they have an aura that is of rainbow aura. This is the reason for the connection with the rainbows and the rainbow body with this one. They live in the water, but they live anywhere. They can choose, similar to the angelic realm in dolphins and whales, to be wherever they are needed.
Mm-hmm.
When you see them, they can show you just their energy form, in which it would look like uh, white with uh, like a translucent, luminescent white with rainbow around it. Or sometimes they will show as rainbow orbs. There's so much we could talk about Sirius B is a very special place. It is a twin of another planet, of Sirius A.
Mm-hmm.
But the two planets took very different directions, took very different paths. And that is okay, as twins here on Earth seem to do, find their own identity. Going back to the grand event that is happening, other civilizations have experienced this in ancient Egypt,
Mm-hmm.
in Lemuria, in Atlantis. There are other civilizations that nobody even knows about far back on the earth. But and many that are here have
Mm-hmm.
experienced other grand events. That's why they chose to come back, because it was incredible. Even though it took years and years to get here, and they
Mm-hmm.
grew up just to experience this moment, these moments, these weeks and months to come. So we will dive into Atlantis a little bit.
Okay, go ahead.
She was in Atlantis. This is that soul aspect of herself. She was also in ancient Egypt. So much we could talk about there. We'll start with Atlantis.
Okay, yes, okay, go ahead.
Civilizations. So much technology with crystals. It's like crystal cities under the water where
Mm-hmm.
they are activated with a golden river. She's asking us what that does. It's essentially protection, and it allows the energy to flow very harmoniously, supercharged energy. It allows even more unity consciousness. She is asking, what is this river made of?
Mm-hmm.
It is something that is not found here yet. She knows it from her other lifetimes, and she wonders why. And we will say, because Earth was not ready yet, but it will be. It's okay. It is healing and cleansing and amplifying. Many ancient sites had this. That is all we must say about that right now, because that is another tricky topic. But so in Atlantis, her guide,
Yes.
she is laughing at his appearance. He's
What,
just so funny.
what does he look like?
He looks like a walrus mixed with like a octopus tentacles for like a beard, and
This is the guy that Laura's been imagining or seeing.
yeah,
Mm-hmm.
he just chooses this form. He seems pretty funny, actually. I'm looking at his other form. It's like a blue-green orb with like white on the edge.
Okay, what is happening?
I'm asking him if he wants to like talk. And he's just funny, his energy's funny. Oh goodness. Hello.
Hi.
She's laughing at me because of my energy.
Okay. What is your energy? What are you?
Well, my expertise is with crystals and
Mhm.
activating them, and I can also deposit information in them, which takes quite some time to perfect.
Okay.
I do like to laugh. I like to have freedom and fun, and I experience much joy in my life every day. This form that I take is comical, I understand, because that is how I feel. And so
Mm,
that's the form I would like to take.
that sounds awesome. And so, how do you activate, or what do you do to activate crystal?
Well, anyone can do this. Activating a crystal is simply talking to the crystal
Mhm.
telepathically and saying hello. And you get a sense of the crystal. It may respond back. Crystals are sentient beings. They have just not been totally understood yet at this time.
But there are
They're
people who have started to understand the crystals.
correct,
Okay.
but it's like seeing the tip of an iceberg. It is so just the beginning.
Beginning. Is there more that you can share, or how we can start learning about
Let me see how much I can tell. If you look in the inside of a crystal, there are tiny triangles with iridescent films of information that can be stored on them.
it? Mm-hmm.
To unlock the crystal, you can hold it to your heart center. It's preferable to find one that you really connect with to start out,
Okay.
and you can ask it if it will unlock for you. And you may see codes of light language coming through. You may hear the crystal. There's so many things that can happen.
Mm-hmm.
You may see visions of, and crystals are more often than not the crystals that you gravitate toward, you have worked with in previous lifetimes, and that is why you are connected to them. But each crystal has its own personality, just like we have our own personalities. And so you'll just pick crystals that jive with you. And
Mm-hmm.
she is asking me where I reside now. If I reside still, if I can visit Atlantis and go back there anytime I want. And
Mm-hmm.
the answer is yes. It's to go back to that time in the golden age of Atlantis before the downfall happened. The downfall was also very intentional, though. It was all intended for a reason. We'll go back there now, and we're showing her
Mm-hmm.
It is like circular rings, like the outer part of the civilization to the inner part of the civilization, built with crystals and glass structures. And it is like the heart of the city is a very powerful crystal, and it amplifies through the concentric circles that are there. She is asking how this can be built with all these crystals and glass. Like, is this something that is manifested to build all of this beautiful structure? And the answer is yes.
Mm-hmm.
It's very easy for us to build. We can think about it. We may design it telepathically in our mind's eye, or we have other ways of visualizing as well, and then we can manifest that. It is all with the intent, so you can make something very beautiful very quickly and effortlessly without having the constraints of the physical world as you do here on Earth. The crystal city that she sees is also built this way. Remember that you chose to come here to live in this time, to remain calm, when others are storming around you. When there's so much uncertainty, you are the rock. You are the rock that observes everything happening and stays steadfast in this path. Your peace and calm ripples out far beyond what you know today to be true. If everyone maintains their center of peace and calm, we will transition quite quickly.